This day in Philly sports history is proud to be a part of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network, where passionate fans make powerful content. Check out theclashingconferences.com and join the squad today. What's up, everyone? Welcome to This Day in Philly Sports History for August 3rd, 2026. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Monday edition of the podcast. Happy Major League Baseball trade deadline day. Is Dave Dombrowski going to do anything? I feel like the meme where the guy is just poking the blob on the ground and said, come on, do something. I feel like that's what we're doing now, but we'll get into that in a minute. Let's rewind the weekend like we do every Monday. Brought to you by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com. They got you covered for your Philly sports apparel needs. A whole line of LeBron James stuff. Made a purchase over the weekend. I think I mentioned that on Friday. But go to Philly Goat. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. That's Jim Montgomery, all one word. And, of course, the world famous Philly Goat crew. They were on FYI Philly on 6ABC over the weekend, talking about their partnership, basically the history of their company and the partnership they have with another good friend of the show, John Foley. Foley's on South, so be sure to check that out. But let's get into it, because I woke up to, and again, we saw this with LeBron James. Twitter is just insane with all the rumors, but one rumor that was I saw more consistently than anything was they're in talks with the Angels for Mike Trout. We'll see. Mike Trout can't pitch the 6th, 7th, or 8th inning in the bullpen, so I'm not sure if that is the way to go. I think it would be a cool story to bring him home. I'm not necessarily. It certainly probably would be an upgrade over what we have, and I don't like to do Eagle fan on Eagle fan crime here, but Mike Trout can't stay healthy. So I mean, like I said, it'd be cool. It'd be a splashy move. Does it give the team what they need? No, unless he's going to pitch the 6th, 7th, or 8th inning. Can he be the 5th starter? I don't know. Again, not trying to rain on anybody's parade, because it certainly would upgrade the outfield. And by proxy, depending on how or what's involved in the trade package, would improve the bench. But I need bullpen help or a starter or something. So maybe it's a part of a bigger move. We'll see. But rumors galore. Before we get into the Phillies weekend that was, the other rumor I saw, not happy about. I'm going to be completely honest, not happy about it. But the rumor going around yesterday was the Sixers reuniting with Ben Simmons, and I made it perfectly clear, no. I would never be in on that move, especially at this point, because he's been living on a freaking boat fishing. But we'll see what happens. It's going to really test my trust the process psyche here, but we'll see what happens. But I guess a solid weekend on the field for the Phils. Andrew Painter got the surprise start on Friday. I was thinking I was going to see him on Friday night up in the Lehigh Valley. More on that in a minute, but he didn't pitch bad. 6-2 or 6 innings pitched, gave up 2 runs, was solid, but the bullpen. That's why I need a bullpen piece. Gave up 4 runs in the 6th inning. Phillies lose it. But they have a guy that I don't know why they don't bring up. They brought him up the other day for like a 1-inning thing. Alex McFarland was throwing heat down there. Bring the dude up. I don't understand what is the holdup with this, unless he's going to be a key piece in a trade. I don't know, but if he's going to be in the system, bring him up. The dude was throwing heat. Um, we'll see. I mean, okay. But a lot of the guys that had a cup of coffee up with the Phils were there. Dylan Moore, Felix Reyes, uh, didn't do bad. Uh, but bring Alex McFarland up. I don't know why. You have a need. This dude throws heat. Bring him up, man. Unless that's what they were doing, working him in a couple innings here or there to see what he can do, and that is part of the plan. Be prepared for the news conference later today when Dave Dombrowski says Andrew Painter is like a trade deadline acquisition for us. That's coming. But we'll see. Like I said, Dave, do something. Do something. But they bounced back the rest of the weekend. 5-0 on Saturday night. Christopher Sanchez was okay. Struck out 11, but walked 5. Not his normal self. Got out of a couple jams. Only gave up 2 hits, but the bullpen was solid. I'll give credit where credit is due. They were also solid again yesterday. Rain shortened game after 5.5. I guess the official was 8-0. Like, I was waiting to see whether they were going to bring it back to the 5th inning or just kind of call it there. Bryson a homer. Brian De La Cruz has been pretty good for them since being brought in. He had 3 RBI. And again, I mean, if that is the bullpen you're going to get, that makes a Mike Trout trade that much better. But if you're going to get the bullpen you had on Friday night, it doesn't matter who you got in the lineup, unless you're going to put up 12 runs. We'll see. Dodgers obviously making moves. I get it from, like, if I'm a Dodgers fan, I get it. It's like, hey, your team needs to do better. But for the rest of the league, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I know there was some rumors that, or not rumors, but like conspiracy theories going around that it's a collusion where the owners are kind of allowing this to happen to sort of prove their point for a salary cap. But I mean, I can't necessarily be mad at the Dodgers because what they do is creative salary management. The same thing that Howie Roseman does and Jeff Lurie does. And the fact that you got the ownership group that's willing to support it and defer all that money. Like, I saw a stat, $1 billion, like 10 years from now, they're going to have to pay these guys. You can't fault them for that. They're playing within the rules of the system. So I'm all about having the enemy, the villain in sports, but man, this is getting ridiculous. And the Phillies are saying the right things. We're not scared. Well, you should be. I mean, you lose to lesser teams than that, but we'll see what happens by, I think it's 3 or 4 this afternoon. Dave, what's the move, brother? What's the move? The Union scored 2 goals in extra time on Saturday night to win their 3rd in a row since the World Cup break. They win it 3-2, beating Atlanta. Next up for them this week is the League's Cup group play. Starts on Tuesday night. But slowly, you just kind of move up. They dug themselves a hole. Time to start digging out. Not a lot out of Eagles camp over the weekend, which is good. First preseason game is August 15th. Kyle and I will be back in the studio this week for the next episode, I should say, of the Brotherly Birds breakdown. So stay tuned for that. So what happened this weekend in Philly sports history? We'll go to August 1st. And in 1950, Kurt Simmons becomes the first Major League Baseball player called into active duty for the Korean War. He would make a couple more starts before getting the call that he had to report full time. Certainly hurt them down the stretch, and especially in that World Series in 1950. Then in 1984, Mike Schmidt, Gary Maddox, and Al Holland all appeared on One Life to Live, the soap opera. Apparently, Gary Maddox was a fan of the show, was in the Army with one of the show's writers, or somehow he had a connection through when he was in the Army and wanted to be on. So one of the trips that the Phillies made to L.A., he got those guys over and they were able to make an appearance. They were like construction workers. They were extras, but still a pretty cool moment. And then in 1993, Phillies beat the Pirates 5-4. They wore those 1933 throwback jerseys at a time when you didn't really see teams wearing a lot of throwback jerseys, so that was a pretty cool moment. And then August 2nd, the Athletics beat the Yankees 16-3 in 1933. Mickey Cochran hit for the cycle for the second time in his career. 1970, Tony Taylor with the ultimate grand slam. Phillies beat the Giants 7-6 at the Vet when Tony Taylor, team down 3, bottom of the ninth, hits the grand slam for the win. 1986, Phillies beat the Cubs 12-2. They tied a modern team record with 5 triples, 2 of them by Gary Redus. And in 2006, Jimmy Rollins hits 2 home runs, one of them to lead off the game, tying a team record for 4 leadoff home runs. It was the 3rd straight year he had hit 4 leadoff home runs. And in 2016, Bob Davidson threw out a Phillies fan who was heckling him behind the plate, saying, "You suck," and all of the variations that go with it. Davidson had enough and threw the guy out of the game. Come on, Bob. You got to be better than that. And that is Rewind the Weekend, brought to you by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. And then the answer to Friday's trivia question: Placido Polanco went 186 games while playing for the Tigers without making an error for second base. That is still the Major League Baseball record for second baseman. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at Philly Jimbo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Philly Jimbo as well. Like, subscribe, all that stuff helps me out. So follow me on the social media platforms to get my stuff in bigger rotation. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a comment on Apple as well as Spotify. All of that stuff helps the algorithm out. Whether you're coaching Little League, crushing your fantasy league, or just rolling up to a bachelor party like a Philly legend, Lotwin Custom Hype Chains bring the energy. Fully customizable, totally unforgettable, and guaranteed to turn you into the MVP of the moment. Great for teams, groomsmen, or anyone who wants to show off with some serious swagger. Go to Lotwin.com, use the promo code TCCPOD, and get 10% off your own custom hype chain. Lotwin, let's get hyped together. All right, August 3rd, a pretty light day in Philly sports history, and just as well for today because all I'm going to be doing all day is refreshing the Twitter timeline to see if there's any breaking news from the Phillies trade camp. But first, we're going to go back to 1930. Phillies beat the Braves in both games of a doubleheader, 11-5 and 4-1. In Game 1, Chuck Klein went 2 for 5 to extend his hitting streak to 26 games. Unfortunately, went hitless in Game 2 to end the streak, but it was his second 26-game hitting streak that season. Think about that, 2 26-game hitting streaks in the same season. For the year, he hit 386, 40 homers, and 170 RBI, which is still the single-season record for the Phillies. And then in 2003, Manchester United took on FC Barcelona at the Link. It was the first ticketed event in the stadium's history. It just opened up. It was a sellout crowd. Manchester United won the game 3-1. I was there. I was working at Kildare's in Westchester at the time. The owner, Dave McGrogan, took a bus of everybody down. We got to go, free tickets, kind of celebrate because Kildare's has just opened up as well. So we had pretty decent seats. It was like my first experience at like a big soccer match, and the crowd was outstanding. I was excited. I was able to walk up and see where our seats were. I did ask whoever was there to move so I could sit down, which was kind of weird, but I did it. And then Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band played there less than a week later. The Eagles didn't play their first game at the Link until August 22nd, preseason versus the Patriots. But the Link opened up today, the first ticketed event, Manchester United versus FC Barcelona. Manchester United winning it 3-1. And then in 2006, Phils beat the Cardinals 8-1 in St. Louis. Aaron Rowan hit a homer. Cole Hamels went 7 innings pitched, gave up 2 hits, struck out 12. It was the second time in less than 2 weeks that Cole Hamels had struck out 12 batters in a game. Chase Utley went 3 for 6 with 2 RBI, extending his hitting streak to 35 games. Unfortunately, it would end the next day when he went 0 for 5 versus the Mets. And that does lead us directly into today's trivia question. Who has the longest hitting streak in Phillies history? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line 267-495-8531. Answer the question. Go to the Discord channel. The link is in the description. Any of my social media. But who has the longest hitting streak in Phillies history? And while you're on the Back to the Future voice and text line, give me your thoughts on Dave Dombrowski. What should he do? How do you feel about the possibility of Mike Trout coming home? Can Mike pitch? Any of that is fair game, as well as, again, they're only rumors right now, but I wasn't very happy with the rumors. So Ben Simmons possibly coming back. It's a big negative for me, but I feel like there's too much smoke now to not have a fire with this. And Ben Simmons could turn this great feeling. This is the Lucy with the football moment. Ben Simmons coming back. So let me know your thoughts on that, as well as who has the longest hitting streak in Phillies history. And then finally, we're going to end it with our tournament. The final matchup is set. Thank you for everyone who voted over the weekend. Kobe Bryant edged out Dawn Staley. Not really edged. 75% of the vote went to Kobe. Wilt, 100% of the vote over Tom Gola, setting up this ridiculous matchup for the greatest Philly high school hoops figure. You got the old school versus the new school, Wilt versus Kobe. Both of them GOATs in their own respect. You have domination versus the most decorated player to ever come out of Philly, with maybe the exception of Dawn Staley. You got the mythology of Wilt. You have the global iconness of Kobe Bryant. Kobe broke Wilt's scoring record for Southeastern Pennsylvania. So these two are definitely intertwined. You want to go even more sub-stories. You got the suburbs versus the city. You name it, this matchup has it. Voting will be open all week till Thursday. We'll announce the winner on Friday. But who is the greatest high school hoops figure in Philly basketball? Is it Wilt Chamberlain or Kobe Bryant? Get those votes in. Any of my social media, the Back to the Future voice and text line. Vote early, vote often, vote every day if you want to. But who is the greatest high school basketball figure in Philadelphia? Kobe Bryant versus Wilt Chamberlain. Who do you got? Get those votes in. Again, I mean, this is new school versus old school. I'm anxious to see how this one goes. I don't think Wilt has not had 100% of the votes yet. Could Kobe be the first one to knock him off? So let's go. All week, this will be up. We will announce the winner of the tournament on Friday. I'll keep you posted on how the voting is going throughout the week. So if your guy is not doing what you want him to do, you can vote. I'll try to set things up, but just vote every day. Get that vote in. All right. On this day in 2006, Chase Utley extended his hitting streak to 35 games. It would end the next day with an 0 for 5 versus the Mets. Manchester United and FC Barcelona opened up the link with the first ticketed event on this day in 2003. It was Manchester United winning it 3-1. And Chuck Klein extended his hitting streak to 26 games, and then it ended in the second game of a doubleheader on this day in 1930. We'll be back tomorrow with updates. The Phillies are back home taking on the Nationals. All of these games matter now. You kind of dug yourself in a hole where they got to start going back and getting hot again. So we'll update you on that. Of course, any maybe moves that Dave Dombrowski makes, we'll update you on that as well. But big red letter day here for Philly sports. And really, the Phillies, the Dodgers laid the gauntlet down. Now the Phillies need to try to match if they want to have a shot to win anything with this core. But again, do something, Dave. Just do something. And of course, we'll have some Tuesday motivation / positivity tomorrow as well. Supposed to be I think it's supposed to clear up. It's rainy and like cloudy now, but I think it's supposed to clear up and be somewhat decent today. So get out and enjoy. If not, just refresh your Twitter feed like I'm going to be doing all day. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History for August 3rd, 2026. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Tuesday or Monday. Don't want to rush it too much. Have yourselves a Monday. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.